We are in big trouble in this country because we have accepted the authority as the truth instead of the truth as the authority. And we're in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why they call it the criminal justice system. It's because the criminals run the justice system. Understand words, learn what they mean, all right? We are controlled by what's called maritime law, all right? It's called maritime law. Now, what is maritime law? Maritime law is banking law, and it's tied into the British East India Company and the British controlling the world, going around the world on ships. Where did this get invented from? Believe it or not, it goes all the way back to the land of Canaan. It goes all the way back to the ancient Assyrian king, the Hammurabi king and the Hammurabi Code. It goes all the way back to Moses, which Moses in his 10 commandments go all the way back to the Hammurabi king in the law of Hammurabi. It's one of the first laws, and this stuff is super ancient. They're aquatic laws that really got put into place though when the British East India Company were going all over the world and controlling, because they needed laws, because everywhere you go there's a law on the land, no matter where you are. Okay, that's why if you're in one place you can get away with certain things versus another. You've heard the statement, you can't do that in Russia or China or whatever, because everywhere you go there's different law depending on the land, depending on the ruler, depending on, you know, what's going on in that land. Now it's called maritime admiralty law. This is the law of the water, because what happened was people a long time ago realized we need law on the water if we're going to have law on the land. We need to uphold some law in here. And what happened was the people that controlled, which ended up being the British East India Company, they decided, all right, we're going to put these laws into place and we're going to make them so that we can take advantage of them, so that they work for us, really, over anyone else. Now, when we became a country, okay, and when they founded America, they used all of the same laws, the same maritime admiralty water laws in our banking system. That's why, you know, even the word bank is a Latin word, and that word is, the word bank means water. And where do you find a bank? On two sides of a river, okay? What is money? It's currency. Currency is water. Currency flows. It flows with the current. Now, when you want to sell your house, what do? You sell it. You put it up for sale. Okay, all these they're all water terminology. Now, how did they get to slip this in to American law? Well, it's easy, because when we're born into our mother's birthing canal, which is water. So we come out of water, so they own us. So as soon as we come out, we get our little birth certificate, we get our social security number, we are put up on the New York Stock Exchange, and we're sold as chattel. We are chattel. Chattel is personal property of somebody else. That's what that means, okay? I got my real estate license years ago. I did that for a little while. It's not for me. But the words and the terminology in real estate, in the legal words, it's all the same, all right? And it's all maritime law, water related, because water flows. You can control water. It's all about control, really. And if they can turn something into something that's flowable and controllable, they can control it. That's why, you know, when you go to court, you walk through the gate. It's called a water gate. You walk into the courtroom, that little gate you walk through is called a water gate. Why is it called a water gate? Because when you're in that room, your ship is about to sink, because there are attorneys trying to poke holes in your story. And when your ship sinks, what do you got to do? You got to go to jail. And what do you have to do when you're in jail? You have to bail yourself out of jail. How do you do that? You have to get money. You have to pay, because they just charged you. Why'd they charge you? Because we are batteries. We're human batteries. We have water inside of us. We carry charges. We are little receptors. That's why the 5G towers on the sides of the roads are no longer 5G. We're talking about 7, 8G potentially, because we ourselves are receptors. We're little receivers walking around. Every single person's got a cell phone in their pocket. We are literally receivers. We have currency in us where we are flowing, and they've taken advantage of it. They've turned us in to a piece of property, chattel, if you will. And chattel is controllable. We are herd animals. And what do they do with the herd? They control it, just like a dam. Just like a dam. The floodgates open up, they herd us in, and they control us our whole entire lives. And that's just what they do. So when you start to learn exactly what's going on, you can have more control over your own life. Now, let me give you a perfect example of what I mean by that. Because a lot of people ask me a lot, like, what do you mean? Like, what difference does it make if I know all this stuff? Because I still have to live in their world. You don't. You don't. And let me explain what I mean. All right, so about 5 years ago when I started waking up, I started to read and learn. Now, about a year ago, I decided, based on all the information I have, well, okay, if these people or entities or powers or gods or aliens or whatever is pulling the strings, if they created a world, you know, because the earth, they didn't create the earth. The God, ultimate God created the earth. The ultimate, the one. He created the earth, or she, whatever it is. Okay, the entities that may potentially live here and control us, they didn't create the earth, in my opinion. They took what was created and they mishmashed it up and they made things out of that. They can't create out of nothing. They can create out of what's already been created. So what they did was they created a world almost like Disney World. When you go into Disney World, you have to pay the ticket price. When you enter into this world, especially in America, I can only speak for America. I don't live anywhere else. I don't know what the procedures are anywhere else, to be honest. I just don't. I haven't talked to enough people about this particular topic, but when you're born in America, you're, like I said, you get your birth certificate, you get your social security number. You're now in Disney World. You just got your ticket and you're in the park and you're in it forever. You're in that park forever. How do you get out of that park? Essentially, you kind of can't, unless you get rid of your social security and you do all that. And I've heard that there are ways to do it. It's called becoming a straw man. There are books on it. There's information on it on the web. If you go to yandex.com, not Google, you'll find a lot more stuff on stuff like this. Google's trash. Now, that's called a straw man. You can try and learn to become one. I mean, I didn't do it because it seems like way more of a pain in the ass. Now, because without a social security number, you can't do anything. You can't have credit cards. You can't do anything. So you're trapped. Here's the thing, though. You can work your way out of this Disney World that they put us in. You can work your way out, but it's going to require you to have enough things, enough valuable things that you'll be able to survive on forever. I mean, which is going to be pretty hard. But, I mean, I'm sure there are people that can do it. There are millionaires out there that have enough money that they could just throw in the towel and get rid of their social security and move and do this and straw man themselves. There are. They could buy enough land, they would never have to do anything. Stock up on food and shit. They really, literally, they could never leave their property again if they wanted to. There are people that could do that. Me, I can't. I got to go to work 50 hours a week, but it is what it is. But my point is, I, about a year ago, decided, okay, well, I understand how it works now, though. I see what they did. They created a world and then put us in it. So instead of being born into the earth and just, it's a free earth, they have taken the earth, they've built countries or borders, if you will. They've given power to certain people scepters of power. Here's your power. You have this land, you have this land, you have this land. We're all working together, but we're going to separate these lands so that you yourself, because you're your own Lord, we want you to have a little bit of freedom and a little bit of power. So we're going to give you the power over there in Asia. We'll give you the power over in America. We'll give you, but we have to work together underneath this one umbrella that's doing all the real dirty work. And that's what happened, and they gave out the power so we're living in their world. How now again, and I'm going back to this, and I know I keep kind of repeating myself, but I'm trying to pound it in to explain it. Now, there are ways to get out of this. What do you have to do? I know smart people out there know exactly where I'm going with this. What do you have to do? Well, think about it. You have to create your own Disney World. And then you have to live in that. And then you invite people in. When you make your world big enough, it gets big enough to be comfortable. At first, your little world is not going to be comfortable because it's small. It's going to be you and maybe your wife and maybe your kids, and that's your little world. But as it starts to grow, build a channel, start reading, start learning, start researching, start putting out truth videos, build a channel, go over, start forming things, start making things, start putting together shirts and books and make tinctures, sell paintings, I don't care what you make, sell shoelaces, doesn't matter. Make a world, put things in the world where other people want to go into your world. And they say, whoa, wait a minute, this guy's got a world that I like. And I like his world better than his world. The problem is getting your world big enough where people can sustain themselves in your world so they don't have to go back out to the Disney World. That's the problem. And in Disney World, there are gas stations and there's grocery stores and there's malls and there's movie theaters and there's actors, and they put all these people in there so that you want to stay in there because the cool people are in that world. Why would you leave? But build your own world big enough and start to either pull some of those people in, make it attractive so that those people on the other world want to come into your little land and pay your admission and do your thing and buy your thing. Now you've created a world in which you control the people that come in it, you control the people that go out of it. You control what you do in your world. But we're not living in our world, we're living in theirs. Start to learn how to make your own. And this is exactly why places like TikTok hate my ever-living guts, because I know exactly what's going on. I point it out because to me it's obvious, and I'm trying to explain to people how to get out of this. And they know it, and they hate it. They hate it because it's true. And if everyone did this, then the Disney worlds and all the fake worlds that have been created for us to play in and to, not even to play in, really to suffer in, to pay, to work in as slaves, and then to die in. That's what we're in. So make your own world and you can control it. I love you all though, and obviously this is entertainment only. How do you make a world? I'm just a talking crazy person right now, obviously. I don't know, do what you want. I love you all. If you want more, and I go deep into topics. I teach astrotheology. I teach the truth and the true teachings of the Bible. I teach what I believe the story of the Bible actually is, what is really inside the Bible. It's very, very useful information, and it's esoteric information, and it will elevate you. The Bible teaches you how to activate all your chakras, how to go up. The Old Testament is material, the New Testament is metaphysical. It's if you want to learn about it, follow me on Telegram with the Sun 33, and I'm with the Sun 33 everywhere. I love you all, and this is entertainment only.